You know that feeling, right? That little bit of warmth you get when you drop a coin or a bill into a charity pot, especially around the holidays. It feels good. It feels right. But what if I told you that a massive, anonymous donation, the kind that makes the news, could actually be doing more harm than good? Sounds crazy, I know. Let's dig into why that might be.
Okay, so this whole idea really comes down to two very different sounds. First, you've got the clink. That's the light, happy sound of a few coins dropping in. And then you have the thud, the sound of a big, heavy bundle of cash hitting the bottom of the pot. Now, according to our source, one of these is the beautiful sound of giving. The other? It can be the sound of a big mistake. So how on earth can a huge donation be a bad thing?
To get our heads around this, we have to ask a really basic question. What is a public charity drive actually for? Is the goal just to collect as much money as humanly possible? You'd think so, but the speaker we're looking at here says nope, that's not it at all.
Let's talk about that clink. It's so much more than just a noise. It's the sound of participation. It's the little kid with their allowance money, the construction worker on their way home. It's everyone getting a chance to be part of something. Every single clink is a small act, and when you put them all together, they create this incredible, warm community spirit.
And this quote just nails the whole philosophy. See, the goal isn't just about the bank account. It's about our hearts and our society. That charity pot is there to make us all stop for a second, to think about people in need, and to feel connected to each other in this shared moment. The money, in a way, is just a byproduct of waking up our compassion.
So if the clink is all about that collective spirit, what happens when one person comes along and drops a huge thud of cash into the pot? Well, this is exactly where a really good intention can, believe it or not, start to go off the rails. Our source points out three major problems. First off, that one big thud pretty much silences all the little clinks. It changes the story from "we all did this together" to "one rich person did this." The community feeling? Gone. Second, the anonymous donor has no idea what happens to that money. If it's wasted, or worse, enables bad habits, the speaker argues the donor shares the blame for that. And third, while the first huge donation gets a lot of press, if it keeps happening, people just get bored. The wow factor disappears, and it stops inspiring anyone. This idea of a giver's responsibility is absolutely central to the argument. And to make the point crystal clear, the speaker uses this really powerful and pretty shocking story about the real impact our giving can have. So here's the setup. It sounds charitable, right? You see someone begging on the street, and you decide to give them enough money to live on every single day. You feel good about yourself. They don't have to worry about food. Everyone wins. Or do they? What's the real, long-term result of doing that?
And there it is, the punchline. By taking away the need for that person to find another way, a more sustainable way to live, your help has actually trapped them. You've essentially sentenced them to being a beggar forever. You treated the symptom, the hunger, but you might have just destroyed their chance at a real future.
So who's at fault in that situation? The speaker is absolutely clear on this. The giver is responsible. The whole point is that real charity isn't just a simple transaction. It's an act that requires real wisdom. Giving without thinking about the consequences isn't just a waste, it can be a type of harm. And the giver has to be held accountable for that.
Okay, so if just dropping a giant pile of anonymous cash is a bad idea, what's the alternative for someone who really does want to give a lot? Well, the source suggests we need to shift our whole mindset, from seeing it as a simple transaction to seeing it as a chance for transformation. This table lays out the two halves so clearly. On one side, you've got the impersonal thud. You drop the money, you get that quick, fleeting good feeling, and that's it. It's over. But then you have the engaged gift. Instead of just dropping cash, you actually visit the organization. You ask them questions. You start to build a relationship. For them, it's way more than money. It's a partnership. And for you, it's so much more than a fleeting feeling. It's a real opportunity to learn and grow. And the benefits of this approach are just huge. You're treated like a real partner, not like an ATM. You get to see for yourself what's really needed and how things work on the ground. And this opens the door for you to give so much more than just money. You can offer your ideas, your professional network, your skills. Giving suddenly becomes this active, creative thing, not just a passive one. So, we've journeyed from the clink to the thud, and from an impersonal donation to an engaged partnership. But the speaker takes this whole idea one final, and honestly, pretty surprising step further. It asks us to rethink who or what we should be giving to in the first place. Now, this is a really challenging question, right?
We're all conditioned to think that helping society means giving to charities that fill in the gaps. But what if the most powerful thing you could do, the most effective way to create change, is to strengthen the very foundation of society itself? Okay, that is a provocative statement for sure. But the speaker's point is this: the government isn't some foreign entity. It's a direct reflection of us, the people. It runs on our tax money, and it operates with the power that we all collectively give it. So its failures are, in a very real sense, our failures.
And this is the critical point. For the government to improve, the people have to improve. We have to become wiser, more thoughtful, more engaged. Pouring money into charities to fix problems the government should be handling is really just a short-term patch. The real, long-term solution is to build a better, more effective government by becoming better, more effective citizens.
And that leaves us with this final big idea to chew on. Maybe the most generous thing you can do isn't writing a check at all. Maybe it's the active, intelligent, and ongoing investment of your time, your wisdom, and your energy into making our entire system work better for everyone. A donation not of cash, but of citizenship. Maybe it's time we all started to rethink what it truly means to give.